Hi guys, welcome back to another astro reading. This time we're going to be taking a look at the sign of Cancer. And you know, it's absolutely my pleasure to read for you guys. And you also know that these readings are timeless and actually pretty signless. So you don't actually have to have any significant placements in the sign of Cancer or to be watching this video at the time that I'm posting it for the messages to be relevant for you. If they feel relevant, they sound like they can offer you something, then definitely work towards embracing that and reflecting upon it. And if they don't resonate, that's totally okay. I would just invite you to take a step back, come back a little bit later, and see whether the messages start to seem a little bit more like they resonate for you then. All right, if you'd like to work personally with me, you know exactly where to find me. You can reach me, I guess, through any of the links on this page, but I do my business site on Etsy. And finally, as you may well know already, we're running a store-wide sale until December 31st, and everything in the store is going to be 20% off. And you know how it goes. You can book now to take advantage of the sale, and you can schedule at any point later. All right, there's no expiry, and we do offer Klarna as a suitable 1 minute 11 seconds yay payment plan if that is something that you're interested in. All right, so let's jump right in. Cancerian energies. Let's tap into the Cancerian lifeline. It's interesting because I just saw as I tapped into it, right? And it was just at the same time, slightly before this turned, I kind of got the energy of like, oh, yes, there's the whole feminine / motherly nurturing energy there, but the page turned and we're going to look at it something else Cancerian. And it's funny that this card came out, right? Of course, it's coming through the feminine energy, but it's not necessarily coming through with the that Queen of Cups, like super nurturing and blah, 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 that you would expect with the Cancerian energy. So let's see what I'm getting for you guys, whoever you guys are, for this message. In some area of your life, you may experience this energy dynamic that I'm about to say. It feels a little bit like you're being asked to be turned into. So now we're talking about an alchemical / manifesting kind of energy vibe / magician vibe here. To be turned into, at 2 minutes 22 seconds, an innovator, somebody who innovates. Now I do want to take this quick moment to give us our friendly PSA that, hey, in case you haven't heard, we're formally in the age of Aquarius. And so you best believe that everyone is going to be getting a nice fair dose of aqua energy, right? That the hallmarks of Aquarian energy, which when I touch that energy field, I said, notice what's the word, fluttered, I can't even get my words back yet, is because when I went to say that, I felt myself touch it. See, when we say these things, always be careful because you're doing it at the same time. And I was repelled a bit, and that's to show you the live wire that is Aquarian energy. But when I feel into it, Aquarian energy to me, and I'm not trained in as an astro person or whatever, I just feel energies, and they often align with what astro people say. It's just because we're both reading energy just through different forms, right? Or methods. Aquarius feels like a messenger, but a way out there messenger. They would be the scout that you send way out into the universe, way whatever. They have the shape-shifting abilities to move. And when I feel Aquarius energy, I usually tend to feel it in like 4 states. One is electricity, the other is water, the other is air, and the other is a mist-like substance. So this is how Aquarian energy feels to me, and depending upon how I perceive of that energy in that moment, it kind of gives me insight into the role that Aquarius is playing. Now, my left ear is popping. I notice it tends to pop when we speak in the truth. I'm just kidding, but when something's coming through, so it's a little bit of a bodily validation, and sometimes it's better than the itchy nose that I get whenever the channeling is very thick. But anywho, so yeah, so right now, as I pick up this, as I was just telling you, I felt like repelled by it quickly because it's the actual form of it is like a zzz, like that. That's literally the best. Like that was a pretty spot on impression of what Aquarius energy feels like when it's just in its purest form. For me, 4 minutes 44 seconds. I can only speak to how it flows through my body. It's like a huge live wire. So we and of course we know the planet Uranus is its main it's his father planet, right? And that's all about that shock and that rebellion and that, right? So that's the vibe. So we always need a little bit of a filter through which to receive that live wire kind of energy. And they're bringing us with that filter energy here to this strength card. Now, so the reason why that message is coming through in that seemingly disjointed way, but it's always perfect, is because they're trying to show that whatever this energy is that's going to be coming in to you to snap you into alignment with what we would deem innovative, right, is going to be tempered. It's going to help temper this. Oh, shoot, there are 2 cards under there. Wow, look at that. There are 3. Ooh, the 4. Okay, no, not 4. So isn't that what aqua energy is about? I know we're reading a Cancerian energy, but when we're talking about this innovation energy, it's the superimposition of the Aquarian energy there. So we see that you're going to have some shocking things coming through. So of the energy that's coming in for you, guys, whoever you are, to shape you, some of it is going to be like a little bit of a buffer, like a filter, a conversion, a translator, so that you can receive that. And oh, what's the word? Is it conductor? No, what is it? The term that helps to temper the energy so that you can better receive it. Anyway, you get the point. Let's look at the other 2 cards. Wow, they're not necessarily coming in yet, but look at them. They're 8 of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So they're not coming in yet in the sense that we don't know which will come first, but chances are, I'm assuming it's going to be the 8 of Swords that comes in first. When we talk about the 8 of Swords, it talks about it's all about being in mental distress, or the better word, actually, excuse me, because when I think about mental distress in the Suit of Swords, I'm thinking more along the 9 of Swords, but the better word here is going to be mental discord. So that's a nod to the instability of the mind. At that point, you can think of it in terms of obsessive thoughts. You can think of it as in terms of compulsive patterns or looped thinking, all that stuff that needs to be a little bit ironed out. But the beautiful nuance of the 8 of Swords is that you can always choose to get out of it by what? The same thing since the dawn of time, but the challenge of doing it could be easier or harder depending on what culture you're in and how ideologically flexible you are. But the way you do it is you shift your perception, right? Change your perceptions. That's it. Wriggle out of it. And then you realize, oh, the only reason I was being held in place like that with all this fear and being hit with all this fear and instability is because I was choosing to stay plugged in to whatever line of thinking I was in. But you know, on this channel, we do try to shift in and out of things. If it doesn't feel good, then clearly you prefer to have a different state of being, and how you can maximize or step into that preference is by making a change in your mindset and taking action steps. Boom, there she comes. There it is, taking action steps to weed out what you no longer believe in, what doesn't fit with you. Now, I always like to say the Queen of Swords is the one queen that will cut your throat while she's talking to you, right? So the point is, she's got the sword. That's what she does. But I think it's very important here to note this transformation. Didn't we talk about you being transformed from one state into another? And didn't I tell you guys when we started this message that instead of coming out with the Queen of Cups, you're coming out as the savvy, grounded Queen of Pentacles, and look at your transformation to the Queen of Swords. Now, in this case, the Queen of Swords is representing that perfect amalgamation with the Aquarian energy, and let me translate that or show how that can manifest in the 3D world around you. It could just simply be you, a perfect amalgamation, and being made suitable for the new things that you're seeing around your world. And when I talk about new, there's nothing new under the sun. It's just to show you. And then if something's new to you, likely it's just new to you. You probably didn't have the clearance card, the clearance if it's a government thing to have seen it already. You probably didn't have the access, if it's even to your local library, certain rooms, to look at the materials that will tell you it. Or you just probably didn't even know that a certain person close enough for them to share something, right? So it's just new for you at that moment. But something new. And so the guides are saying you're being made ready to receive. Now, as I say receive, notice how the cards are arching this way. It's going to eventually come around here, right? And as I see this, I see you turning into actually a King of Wands, right? The King of Wands stepping out into the world, right? Taking action. But as you know, before you take action, you stop and reflect. You allow things to come in. You give a moment to pause, to reflect. You own yourself. You exercise your sovereignty. You take personal responsibility. You understand that just because something falls on my desk, whether it's information or a piece of paper or whatever, doesn't mean that I have to, it doesn't mean that I'm beholden to it, that, well, there's nothing I could do about it. It came on my desk. That's the quickest way for a magazine editor to get fired. Okay. Well, it came on my desk and it was done. No, your job is to edit what you have on your desk. I don't care what your staff of people had, what they said and this and that. I don't care that your other bosses or other managers are breathing down your neck. You're the one who signs off on this. And that's the way you have to think about things in this life. Yeah, the pressure is hard to press the button, right? But you're the one who pressed the button, and you're gonna have to hold that. That's what you're gonna have to hold. So this is a nod to being mindful, also talking to the watery aspects, the emotional aspects of us here. You have to be mindful that yes, it's okay. It's completely human. It's completely natural to be moved, to be tossed to and fro. I can never say that word. Tossed to and fro by your emotions, to get triggered. I saw something and I'm all triggered and I gotta say something and I have to go and send people things and I have to go pull triggers and I have to yeah, guess what? You're getting swept up because you are an emotional being. You're made up of a lot of water, a lot of ether, right? But you're not made to just react, because that is a tinderbox. If you understand the things that you're carrying uniquely, as somebody who has your own unique past lifetime stuff, you've got your unique upbringing here. Things may not seem as unique as they really are, because especially for the staunchest of people who've just been like grown pretty much in the same cultural milieu, and it's like we're so right, so we're all one block and we're all no. Just easily, gently, even walking into your therapist's office, they will pick apart things in your story and the narratives you tell to show you may have subscribed to the same culture, same beliefs and whatever, but you're your own person and you have your own expression, right? Two people can take the same action, but when you look into the person's energy field, even just into their story, you will see that their actions were born of different motivations. So please, this is another nod towards these messages coming through for the Aquarius age, right? These messages coming through of just jumping on the bandwagon. Just because you see somebody do something out there and it helps you feel validated because, well, I've been so upset about this and and somebody had to say something, somebody had to do something. Do not for 1 second believe that even if they say the stories and you're saying that you two are coming from the same motivation. It is not the case. In fact, if you were to possibly go and look in this person's room or that person's room or whoever you're idolizing, this is idolizing, right? Whether it be people in the news, whether it be celebrities, whether it be people at your churches or even in your classroom, like, oh my God, they're senior, they're so cool, right? If you probably just went in their car or they looked in their bedroom one day while they weren't there, you would probably be starting to have different ideas about these people. If you probably talk to the people that know them, you would probably really know them, you'd probably have different ideas. So the message here is, again, stop following other people and think for yourself. It sounds pretty cliche these days because It's like, duh, we know this. Every Saturday morning special back in the day, now I'm dating myself, would say these things. Think for yourself. Dare to be different. But it's the truth. And take it from your friendly local energy reader who would not lie to you. I don't have any skin in the game. I literally have not made 1 cent on YouTube because I don't charge on YouTube. And by the way, I've been meaning to say, if you get commercials in your YouTube, that's never me, because I've never done sponsors or signed up for, like, I just don't do that. I don't even get any paid. I just don't make anything, right? And it's by choice. I've opted not to, and I could, it's fine. I could opt to, but I just, you know, I'm just not, just to show you. So please, I don't need you to be swaying any one way. I'm just letting you know, energetically speaking, this is what I see in the field. And right now, not just you, all of us, myself included, we don't have the luxury of just following. That's not an Aquarian thing. We're not here to follow people. And that's just period. You're not here to follow people. The age of following is just dead. And I'm not talking about following somebody like, oh, they're saying something that I could learn from, or like, I like this channel, or wow, I like how this person takes their route to school, 15 minutes, 51 seconds. I'm going to follow that route. Like, that's different. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about seeing something that somebody has, something they're doing, something they say they're about, blah, 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 blah. And then idolizing them to the point that any action they take, even though we all may agree with some things because we're feeling the agreement, be careful with that. 16 minutes, 16 seconds. Because when you're going later to look at your own actions, and when you're receiving later the comeback from the energies you put out into the universe, whether it's in this lifetime or another lifetime, you're the one laying the track for what you end up receiving. No one's going to be out there like, oh, but you know, we get why you said that and why you did that, because we saw that you had just read that post on this site and it made you feel a certain type of way because you knew this person had that. And no, you know, at the end of the day, you are the decision maker, and it couldn't come through any clearer than this. I'm trying to not wax on here, but it's just, you know, I'll let you guys know. Now, they're also saying that this message is coming through in alignment with the Cancerian energies because, again, when we're thinking about Cancerian energies, it's a water sign. We're thinking about emotions. Then we add that extra layer of wanting to take care of everybody and nurture everybody. One of the shadow sides of the Cancerian energy is that they may cultivate too much compassion for other people and not enough for themselves. And so the mastery, as expressed through a Cancerian person, whether regardless of what the sign is, it's kind of doesn't matter what the sign is. It's just about where in your chart it's hitting and how much of it you have, and how it's playing around with other energies in your, right? If you're heavily Cancerian, one of your mastery is to understand what it means to be properly in that energy. What is compassion? Proper compassion. It's not bending over backwards to your own detriment, right? So that's everything that we are learning and experiencing is for the sake of balance. That's why we're learning balance, right? And take it from me, I have a North Node in Cancer, so I'm learning. And if you know me, you know I've come a long way in terms of my South Node Capricornian workaholism. Okay, workaholism. Nobody talk to me. I am busy. I am doing it, right? So like I am just, it's so much so that even the guidance was to name my channel A Compassionate Heart School, because these are things I'm cultivating, assisting others, helping others, but needing to balance that with myself. Where's the self-love and the self-care and the self-nurturing? When you guys, period, no matter who you are, what your thing is, they're saying bliss, okay? I was gonna say when you're in your healthy state of self-love, and as the team is saying, when you're in your bliss, those high vibrational frequencies, joy, bliss, literally, just if you want this over here, because I like it better, it makes me feel happier than over here, then best believe this is going to give you a higher frequency energy field than if you were to put it here. Now that made no sense for some of you, right? But imagine if I had a friend who's like, put it right here because it's better. And I'm like, no, but I kind of want to hear, I like it. That's easier for some of you to get behind because it's like, why is that person forcing her to put her card where she doesn't want it to be? It doesn't matter the form, the circumstances. Oh, there's someone else there, blah, blah. No, it's just feel into it. What do I prefer? Over here. Because I like that beam of light because I'm blocking it. Sorry, my bad, guys, my bad. Sorry, right? And I like having it right there. And it's just for me, because maybe no one would ever see that card. They just want to get into these cards, right? So the point is, when you are in these healthy states, then you have a real shot, 20 minutes, 2 seconds, 2002. You have a real shot of creating what? A balanced and healthy view, perception, perspective of whatever it is you're looking at. You have, if you're in this healthy state where you're following your joy, it's literally leading you into your higher self. It is aligning you. If you're angry and upset and scared and you're over here, right? But if your higher self is over here, you're going to have to vibrate faster. You're going to have to get yourself into alignment to receive what? To receive the guidance, the perspective, the gifts that come along with this. If you're at a lower frequency, you're going to receive, but you ain't receiving these highlights. You're receiving, the nasty comments and this and that. If you're already in that state of being, you're going to attract to you things that are at that level. One video is going to make more sense to you and it's going to feel better to you. It's because you're mad inside and you want to get your rocks off. You want to see somebody take somebody down, like these kinds of things. You like to hear those stories. But if you are cultivating that sense of self, you're focusing on your inner joy, you're cultivating bliss, you're maximizing on the things that make you happy, you're no longer attracted to those other things. It doesn't mean that every now and then you won't be like, oh, I wonder what's going on here. No, it just won't taste good anymore. You just don't have the appeal. So please understand when we say that we're attracting things to us based on your energetic frequency and your beliefs that you're carrying already, you are a vibrational match to something or other. And if you want to see what your vibrational match to, just look around. In fact, take a pause on this video, look around. Look at your bank account, look at your car right now, look at your hands, look at, the walls, and do you have a lot of broken items around your house? Have you had a falling out with quite a few people, right? Do you have nicks and cuts all over? Are you like down on your luck? Are you like, right, did you make your bed? Like all of this is a manifestation of the internal state. 22 minutes, 22 seconds. So when you make the decision to slip into something higher, you're just choosing, like a radio dial. No, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, let's go with that. You're tuning into different states of being and your higher self, which gives you literally a higher perspective. When you're at a higher perspective, you can see all. Then you could see, for example, you get into your higher state, you watch your comedies, you cut out lower vibe people, you focus on things that bring you joy, even if it's like, I'm gonna wear Velcros because I'm that person today, right? Velcro shoes, because it makes you feel good. You're elevating your consciousness from that space. When you look out into the world, you're gonna see a different world than other people who are in the cesspool of lower vibrations and watching things that are just hurting them and having people in their ear that are speaking just toxicity into them, and they haven't cultivated that sense of self and high frequency to have that be out of alignment or seem distasteful to them or just whatever. And so they're just feeding into it, and then the algorithm picks up and now they're just bombarding themselves in a little cage, right? So this is why they said, and the guides have been saying this since the end of 2023. Remember, they were saying this. In this new age, it is going to be the heart that is going to help you to discern what is real and what is not. Because only love is real. So if you're out of alignment within, you are not walking around. You haven't cultivated the lens, the perception, the perspective that will assist you in processing the media, processing the news, processing your coworkers, processing your workspace, processing the household, processing, down to which salon person to go to, 24 minutes, 24 seconds. You can't tell because there are too many competing things that are appealing to you. So this is about pruning season. But notice what they said: when the energy comes in, shift your perception to love. Alignment. With whom? You, at a higher level. And as our guides had said, I think it was last year or earlier this year, and I shared it with you guys. I was asked them one day, I was like, so we talking about God and creators and all this, but because I'm learning too, so I'm asking. And I was like, well, who? And they said verbatim, right? Verbatim, my guides meeting me at the level that I am, because if they really talk to me about the way reality is out there, with my human framework, I wouldn't be able to understand it, right? So they met me here in my belief, and they said God is mankind's current word for a concept of self, their own self, themselves, that they have yet to recognize. And that have yet to recognize means they just haven't, we haven't gotten to a certain level of awareness yet to be like, oh, I get it. Now, I do want to say that they gifted me in that moment shortly after with a moment where, like, I swear, guys, it all made sense. I was like, it was one of those like, and I was like, slow clap. I get it. I'm God. It's me. God is within I. And it all made sense. And then as these moments go, because they lifted me up in that moment, and then I'm back here. And so it all ebbed away. And the most I can do now is carry the remnants of what I can remember viscerally and the story for you guys. But I'm sorry. You can ask your team to help you to have those moments. But just trust me when I say that the way to get yourself into the healthiest and most optimal state of being for yourself, understanding that your mentality, your state of being is what directly affects your physical reality and your health, your body, all of that, because it's just carbon copies of the internal state. But the way to get there is through your joy. Okay? Another cliche moment. Oh, well, check this out. Look at these two cards. Manifest, blossom. The way to do that, right, is to get into your higher self, period. Now, interestingly, we have the hangman here, which isn't exactly standing upright, but what there's, and so, oh, okay, that makes sense. They're saying, so a lot of people on this planet in general are stuck at a certain level of understanding because they haven't given enough time to allow energies and information to flow into them from, wait for it, the right source. And this is going back to what we talk about a lot on this channel, unplug, right? Just for a second, unplug from all these ideas you've learned and you've been told, and socioculturally, religiously, spiritually, whatever, just unplug and plug into yourself, because you are the source. Get yourself up and running with doing things that bring you joy, even if it's just like, well, I just want to take a course in stamp collecting. Do it. Does Coursera offer that? Do it. Skillshare, do it. Do it until it brings you joy. Watch those comedies, just enjoy yourself and get yourself into the right frame of mind. Then that's the correct plug-in, and you get all these downloads and all this information. And then guess what? The things that you're confused about, all this stuff, they're gonna miss you entirely, because you're no longer a vibrational match to them. You are no longer open to interference with that. And then when you see certain things in the news, you're to use the term of these young folks these days, you're standing on business. Not business that other people are saying, but business that in terms of what you know to be true with your heart, in alignment with your heart and whatnot. Two wrongs don't make a right. No matter how you feel emotionally, and we all do feel like, yeah, get him, right? Those kinds of things. If a wrong was done, quote unquote, and a wrong to do that right, wrong, this doesn't make a right. Especially when you just look in the energy fields of certain people, they're not running on the same motivation that you think that you're running on, right? So always remember to stop, think, and allow. And they allow for your higher self to offer you a perspective that is more expansive and better feeling for you guys. And as I said, better feeling for you guys. I felt like all these pins and needles being pulled out of the chest. Okay, so somebody here may have a lot of, you know, when you have like some type of sore throat or something, and you like, and it feels like pins and needles stuck in your throat, and you're like, and it's like itching almost. It's like the whole chest area isn't so inflamed, but people don't realize that that's their normal state now. It's not normal. When you're having that inflammation in your heart area and all of that, of course, things online are going to seem like the right thing because everyone's talking about it, but it's not. So this is your PSA. If this message resonates for you, this is your PSA to clean it up. Clean it up. We want the company impressed. Remember that? Anyway, I'm going to stop here. And if you have any questions, you know exactly where to reach me. If you'd like to work more personally with me, you know how we do it as well. And until then, God bless you guys. God bless your buttons, and keep doing your best, right? You are loved regardless of what you do, if nothing at all. Bye.